Welcome to our magnificent lumbar luxury class. So when I teach this sequence, I've taught it a few times, but one time one of the students said that was magnificent. So I'm just going to call it magnificent from now on. We'll begin very briefly seated just to get our breath connected. So come to whatever seat you want. Take the hands to the thighs to get that sense of connected earth energy. And we'll come into that beautiful three-part breath, closing the eyes. Inhale into that belly. And then the ribs, all directions, and then all the way up to the chest. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, belly, ribs expand in all directions, and then all the way up to those collarbones and shoulders for a nice internal massage. Exhale. And now return to the breath that you just would have otherwise just going through your day or night. Inhale and exhale, noticing what energy you bring to your practice today. Bringing ourselves into the room, into the virtual and real room. And perhaps if you have some worries or concerns and mental clutter, you could just take that off, leave it at the door. You can collect it when you finish, but let's just leave that behind for the moment. We're going to nourish our lower backs today, those hardworking muscles and connections in the body. Another three-part breath before we recline that spine. Inhale. Three-part inhale. Feel the shoulders drop, just massaged from the inside. Exhale. Sigh everything out. And then come to a reclined position on the mat. Grab a block and a strap nearby. Great. And come on to the back for an easy pose. This really is an easy, it's called easy pose, so it's easy. Come on down, drape that spine into a lovely horizontal position and take the feet to the floor. Now, when you take the feet to the floor, hello, Maddie, that's my dog. And when you come to take the feet to the floor, really feel the feet as if they're standing on a surface. So they're hip width apart, and you can feel your full, beautiful footprint pressing into the imaginary sand. And then take the feet a little bit wider towards the edges of the mat and bring the knees together. Take your right hand to the heart and left hand to the belly. And this is the beginning of our nourishing the lower back practice. And the hips, of course. Inhale in, so we can do that three-part inhale a lot easier here as we feel the expansion of the belly and then the ribs into the hands and then all the way up to the shoulders. Perhaps just feel an ease in the shoulders already. Exhale, feel everything drop, and then you can feel that support behind you, underneath you, a sense of warmth. Close the eyes and just notice we're lifting the pressure off the low back here, allowing a nice curve in the spine, a curve in the low spine that's natural. The back of the ribs are supported by the mat. Feel the hands rise and fall with the breath, coming into an awareness of our shape on the mat, our shape in space. Before we start to move, let's bring ourselves to a stillness, focusing on that third eye to keep our monkey mind more focused, as if that third eye were a bright light, soft light, but bright. Just focusing on that light instead of all of the perhaps other clouds passing by in our thoughts. Maybe you can hear the breath as you come into a stillness. And allow that sound of the breath to communicate to your nervous system that you can settle and just be. You don't have to do. Great. On your next inhale, allow the arms to drape along the sides of the body. And feel the shoulders fold away from the sky. So just easing down towards the mat. As you take the right knee and trace the left shin towards the left foot, trace it back up to the knee and then trace the left knee towards the right foot. And then back up to the knee. You may hear my dog through this. She's probably a little bit hungry right now. So if you hear her soundtrack, we'll just make it a part of our meditation. So take this windshield wiper and really feel the fluidity here. Coming back up to the knees, keeping that contact with the shins, keeping our pelvis and the sacroiliac joint a little more steady as we take that contact rather than taking the legs just all over the place. And then take the thumbs to the elbow creases. Let's lengthen the spine by taking those forearms above the head. So that sense of reaching up towards those forearms through the crown of the head, getting that length in the spine. You can even pull gently on the outside of the elbows with your fingertips and see if you can encourage that skin to just lift up along the sides of the body. Actually, in this case, it's horizontally up. Follow your breath. And then let's take the elbows side to side away from the legs, away from the knees, but on the side to side towards the ears. So we're doing that next to the head. Feeling the sides lengthen with this. And then we're going to take the forearms above the eyes and look at the forearms and watch the elbows go side to side up here. So we've traveled now into the mid back. So really take that awareness of the mid back as you begin to move fluidly and oxygenate it. Shoulder sockets. And now let's take it to the top of the spine as we take the gaze over to the left along with the knees. So each direction with the knees is going to match the head, and then the elbows will be the opposite. Really explore the range of your neck. You know, if it doesn't go the same on either side, just notice. Don't force. And then take your eyes and watch your elbows go side to side. Take a few rounds with the eyes here so that we can get into the deeper nerves of the body. And so that our body can be more ready for our practice by softening. Nice. So this is crazy legs. And let's slow that down. Take the knees together, drape the arms onto your sides, and we're going to gently roll over onto our left side and take a nice long side. So we're going to take the left arm under the head and feel the, place the right hand in front of the chest. So we're just going to feel that left side lengthening. Take the feet together and flex the feet so that if you're standing on an imaginary surface, lengthen on your inhale, and on your exhale, feel that side body. And we're going to take our knee on the right side and bend it into a right angle, holding on to the balance with that right hand. And just notice as you point the tailbone towards the heels, you're going to feel a lengthening in your quad, front of the body. Nice. And if you want to reach back and find your foot, that's fine. Or you can just take it and point that tailbone and really still feel the opening here as you take that nice even knees together position. Beautiful. And let's straighten that leg again. Roll over onto your belly. And take your forehead down to your hands. Roll the hips side to side here. So we can just loosen things up a bit. Again, luxury in that lower back. You can feel the muscles release when you gently rock side to side. Inhale. Exhale, a little more release for that lower back. Appreciating all of the hard work it does. Great. And then we're going to slide the hands, lift the head, slide the hands below the shoulders. Take the tops of the feet together into the mat. Take the feet together, tops of the feet on the mat. Press through the toes. And then pull back with your hands and your elbows at the ribs and peel up into a cobra, baby cobra. The length is your emphasis here through the crown of the head, and ease yourself back down. Forehead, third eye comes down. Inhale back up. So you can follow your breath here as you rise and fall. So the rise of the breath is going to bring the head up, pulling those hands back, pressing down through the feet, feeling that tailbone pointing, and the wave of the breath follows the wave of the spine. This, if you have some piriformis syndrome, disc herniation from the physical therapists that I've studied, this can actually be quite beneficial for those lower back muscles and decompression. And ease yourself down one more time. Sighing it out. Let's take our hands to the top, head to the top, pillow for the head with the hands. Just inhale, deep belly breath, 3 parts, and then sigh it out. Allow the earth to absorb any stresses you're feeling. Now roll over onto your right side and we'll do that same quad stretch on the other side. So you can just directly roll over. I'll switch so you can see me. Pillow for the right ear with your arm, lengthening out on the right side. We're just feeling awareness of the right side. Flex the feet and stand through the feet. Left hand supports you in front of the chest. Lengthen out, exhale. Let's bend the left knee so that we're into a nice, just a nice right angle there. And now point the tailbone toward the heels. Already you should feel an opening on that quad. And if you like a little more extreme, you could keep the knees together. Let's see if you can reach that foot behind you. I'm just going to demonstrate it with a right angle here. Just that pointing of the tailbone, the engagement of those abs are enough sometimes to activate that quad stretch. Beautiful. Roll over onto your back. We'll take just a short hamstring stretch here. So take the strap, if you have one, right knee towards the chest, give it a hug. And then we'll just take one hamstring stretch before we go up. So we'll take that straight leg on the right side and bend and straighten into the strap. Dropping the femur, the top of the femur fits nicely into that hip socket, but just try to sense that awareness, bring your awareness to that right hip. Bending and straightening, softening through the hamstring. 3 more times. And then bring the right knee towards the chest and we'll switch to the other side. Left knee towards the chest. And then lasso that foot with the strap on the ball of the foot and then straighten. And then straighten. Just noticing a wake up and flow, any stuck points in our hamstrings, just encouraging a nice flow. This will also provide relief to the lower back. The tightness in those hips and along the hamstrings just wraps right around to those low back muscles. Great. And now bend the knee, release the strap, and we'll roll over onto our side and come on up to a side sit. We'll do our hip opening here again, affecting the low back. So we'll take the right knee and bend it in front and the left knee on the side. We did this the other day. You want to make sure that your hips are even, right? Your hip bones, the sits bones. Always have that blanket handy to lift one sits bone up. Take the fist beside you and press into the mat. Lift up and shake yourself down gently and notice which side is lower than the other. In my case, it's the right side. So let's take the blanket under the right and even things out. Take a moment here. And here we are in our right side sit. Just feeling that settling in. Inhale, exhale. Just see if you can bring that awareness to the hip sockets and a sense of a container, a soft, grounded container evenly through the hips. Beautiful. Take the fingertips beside you and feel those shoulders rolling away from the ears. And we'll turn over towards the right and carve a path through center. Turn over to the left with the chin. Back to center, look up and look down again. I'm not sure if we did it first. I didn't mean again. Anyway, look up. Inhale, right ear toward right shoulder, pressing through your left fingertips. Lift up with that left ear towards the sky. Exhale, feel the right ear drop. And then trace, line with your head all the way back up. Exhale, down to the other side, left ear to left shoulder. All the while, you're settling into those hips. They might provide some resistance. See if we can keep it nice and soft. And inhale back up. And let's take a twist over to the right. Walk the fingertips out in a circle around the body. Turn towards your right, sternum first. Keep the gaze nice and relaxed. Then at the last moment, see if you can bring it over your right shoulder. Inhale grows you taller. Exhale, feel the twist. Supported by those fingertips rising up through the spine. Exhale, walk the fingers back. We'll do a counter twist to the other side. And then come back to center. And we'll take a nice side bend over to the right. Walk the right fingertips out, right palm plants down. You can take your forearm to a block if that's way too far down there for you. And take the left hand to the top of the left thigh. Feel it anchoring of the left sits bone. And then lift your left arm up towards the sky. Trace a line there, nice rainbow. And then over towards the left ear. Drop the ear toward the shoulder on that bottom half. Inhale into the left ribs. Exhale, drop it. Settle into that gravity of the pose. And then sweep that hand up again. Whew. And we'll take our Lord of the Fish here. So you're going to take your left knee and switch it carefully into the center. So the left foot is going to come towards the right thigh or the right sits bone. And we're going to take that right foot over in front of the left knee or over onto the other side. So as you shift it around, we got to check in with those sits bones again. So the sits bones being that base, right? And it's at the base of the spine. And a lot of times if they go wobbly wonky, that can hurt our lower back. So let's see if we can bring it evenly. Use that fist method again, down at the base and on the floor. Inhale, lift the sits bones and then settle down and see if you can find evenness there. Maybe you want to shift that blanket. So we're taking a deeper twist here. Make sure to keep that right foot nice and firm on the floor as you take the hands to the front shin. Inhale, tall. And feel the length. Exhale and just feel your tallness here. Feel that curve in the low back. Great. And now slide your left hand along the outside of the shin and take the right fingertips behind you. And we're going to twist to the right. So this one is getting into our hip flexors as well. So deep into the glutes, the piriformis, those quadratus, or actually the outside hip flexors as well. Tensor fascia lata. And you can look over your right shoulder. Our glutes often just stay tight all the time. So it's a good time, good opportunity to loosen that up a bit. You can take a counter twist by taking the left fingertips slightly behind us, just turning towards the right knee, not as extreme as the other side. Now you should feel some of that right hip now. And then unwind. And we'll take now, I'm going to switcheroo to our side sit. Take the right knee, bend it to the right, on the side, and bend the left knee in front. Great. And side sit here. Shift those sits bones nice and even. Fingertips to the side, grow tall. Nice. Let's just feel the length first. Great. And then we'll walk ourselves over. Do we do a side bend here? Sorry, not yet. We're going to walk ourselves over in a nice easy twist. Look over the left shoulder and then back through center, counter twist. Again, all these twists do a nice oxygenation for the full spine. And finally getting down to that low back. Come back and we'll look over the left shoulder, look over the right, left ear to left shoulder. Sweeping up right ear to right shoulder on an exhale. Allowing the top of the spine to find some space. Inhale back up to vertical. And then we'll take a nice long luxurious side bend now. So walk the left fingertips out to the side. See if you can find that forearm on the ground or on a block. Right hand to the top of right thigh, reminding that sits bone to be an anchor point and stay grounded. And then reach up with the right arm up towards the sky, really lengthen through that right side. And ease yourself down. Beautiful arc shape. Inhale up. Exhale, settle. Feel the luxury here. Sweep the right arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Now we can take our switch to our Lord of the Fish. So we're going to ease behind that right thigh and bring the right leg in front. And then sweep the left foot in front of the right knee or to the side. Again, addressing our sits bones. Even taking the fist to the side, lifting up. How do you find evenness? Do you just adjust through your feet? Do you just adjust with that blanket? Everybody's going to be different here, how we find some benefits from this pose in a really even therapeutic way. So let's take that foot, but make sure your feet stay active. So even the top of that right foot is active on the mat, and take the hands to the front thigh. That'll give you that nice support to inhale the spine tall. Exhale, drop into the hips. And then we'll slide that right hand on the outside of the left shin, left fingertips as your support towards the back of the body. Inhale, feel that verticality of the spine. And then look over slowly to your left and over the left shoulder. Squeezing out of the organs, therapeutic here too. Inhale back into center. Exhale, excuse me, take the left fingertips behind you, counter twist, nice and soft. Ah, yum, so good. Okay, now I'm going to take ourselves into a nice therapeutic stretch for the lower back as well, which is camel. So take the blanket and place it beneath your shins and allow the kneecaps to drop over the edge of the blanket, like so. Keep your knees hip width apart. Your shins are your anchor here, not the knees, and the tops of the feet as well. And then you're going to come up to vertical in that high kneeling position, pressing through the tops of the feet and pressing through the shins. Find that tailbone again in your mind's eye and point it towards the ground, arrow down to the ground. Take the hands to the lower back, so your palms, feeling the fingertips pointing down towards the knees, and the elbows begin to come together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as if there's a pencil between them. And then the shoulders will fold away from the heart. And wow, what an opening through the heart we have. Inhale. Exhale, just by pressing downward with your hands and pointing that tailbone, you're encouraging that engagement of the abs and the lower back to release. And the elbows are coming closer together. Maybe you just want to massage and walk the palms onto the lower back. So just that nice adjustment, and then the elbows maybe come a little closer together. Follow your breath and keep the gaze soft, and then just see, settle back down with your hands on the lower back. And now with your heart, imagine your heart has eyes and want to look up at the sky. We're going to look up as we press down on that lower back. Keep the chin first looking at the heart. So first the heart is just looking up. As you press and support that lower back, elbows come together. Okay, and then make it vertical. Drop the arms and just release. Kind of just release there a little bit through the wrists. And then come back. Elbows together. Inhale, press down, and then look up with your heart. But this time, see if you can bring your eyes up as well. So imagine your favorite kind of sky above you. Oh, and feel that opening along the collarbones, all those pectoral muscles, supported through the low back, lengthening there. Exhale down. Bring the hips to the heels. And let's take the knees wide apart. If you can fold into child's pose, great. Let's fold at the hips and bring the head forward, third eye to the mat. Reach the arms long. If you don't like to be in this fold, you can always lie down on your back and hug the knees. Reach long through the fingertips. So feel that length as we do even in downward dog, like that really long spine. Inhaling, send that energy down to the tailbone. And as you exhale, just feel the hips drop towards the heels. Again, inhale all the way deep into the spine, down to the tailbone. Exhale, bow down. And feel the hips drop. Beautiful.
Another inhale. Exhale. Follow your breath. Great. And then we'll take the hands next to the head and curl up. Bring the knees closer together into our hip width, and then up through cat. Flow up through cat. Bring the hands forward, hips forward, and then the knees slightly back. And we're going to come into our knee plank. So just hold down, energy down towards the ribs through the armpits. And then come on back through a cat, down to child's again. Bow down. Curl up into cat on your next breath. Exhale, bring you forward into knee plank. We're creating a wave with the body. And then back to child. Third eye down. Inhale, wave yourself up, curl the tailbone, really feel a C curve here, like a wave, and then bring it forward, hips forward into a knee plank, nice long line. And if you can, now if you have some pain in the lower back, stay here, or, really come into that strong plank. Or if you'd like to open up your heart space like we did in the camel, you're going to open up through that heart, look forward, bring the gaze forward, and drop the hips just a little bit, continuing to point your tailbone down. So we're coming into a high cobra, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, and then curl back into child. So we're going to try it one more time. If you want to stay in knee plank just to strengthen your low back, you can do that. Inhale through cat. Ooh, really get into those exploration of the spine, and then come forward into knee plank. So stay here in that nice long position, strong, and then begin to fold open first through your heart, and then the eyes and the gaze. And you can just stay right there where you open that up, or you can drop the hips a little bit. But if that hurts your low back, just stay nice and strong there. And open up the heart. High cobra. Great. And then we'll slide back to child's, where we'll take our hips to the heels and slide side to side. Side to side. So just feeling those hip sockets. So nice. Great. And then we'll come onto all fours and we'll come towards standing. So we're going to curl the toes under, push back with the hands, lift the knees off the mat, and keep the knees bent to protect the lower back. Hold the hands to the floor. So as far low down as you need to get, feet hip width apart, hang the head down, and you can feel a natural traction happening, attraction of the head towards the floor, and the traction through the neck with the weight of the head. Beautiful. As we strengthen our quads, keeping those knees behind the toes. Inhale, keep the ribs on the thighs, bring yourself into a flat back. Exhale, drape yourself over the thighs and release the head. Beautiful. And now take the hands to the hips, keep the knees bent. Inhale up into a flat back, and hinging at the hips, we'll come up to stand. Be very, very easy on your knees. Keep them bent, bent, bent till the last moment. So we're going to come into a nice flow here, where we're going to actually turn around on the mat on the floor. So here we go. Come to the bottom of the mat. Toes spread out, and we're in mountain pose. So feet hip width apart. Take those same hands, like we're going to do camel standing up. So take the hands to the back, lower back, like we did seated. Maybe you're even a little more open. Maybe the elbows come together a little more. Inhale, look up with the heart and with the eyes, and press down towards the heels with those hands. A light back bend there.
And then float yourself back up to stand. And we're going to walk forward into our warrior one, and then we're going to go down into a crescent, another really therapeutic for the lower back. So let's take mountain, inhale, exhale, walk forward confidently with your right foot. And we're going to come into warrior one, bringing the right knee, bending towards the middle two toes and angling that back foot about 30 degrees. Level hips, looking forward. If you need to lift that back heel a little bit, that's okay. Just find the energy between the feet, find your midline. So strong. Inhale the arms above the head into prayer. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, relax your gaze. And we're going to transition into a low lunge. Sweep the arms out into full wingspan. Begin to come up on the toes of that back foot. Curl the toes under and sweep down around the front foot. So we're in a low lunge. This is an opportunity to lengthen the spine on an inhale, to level the hips, and then to bring that back knee down to the mat. Softly bring the top of the foot to the mat. So again, where the shin is really our anchor here, as if you had an anchor weight in that shin. Feel it grounding you. And then take the fingertips to the mat, pull back slightly. That'll put you into a center place where you feel the hips even a little bit more. And you got that front knee nice and behind the toes. So with the sense of length through the spine, inhale, we're going to come toward vertical, drop through the hips, take the hands to the front thigh. And press through the top of your left foot. Feel the length, feel that warmth all the way up the leg, all the way up the left side. And then from here, feeling your feet energizing together, lift the arms above the head again in prayer, and then look up. Inhale. Oh, exhale. Let's sweep the arms out to wingspan around the front foot again. Bring yourself back to all fours. So from here, we're going to just take a downward dog and then we'll spin around. Curl the back toes under. Feel those steady hands beneath you as you curl up into a down dog. And feel free to keep the ribs on the thighs and the knees bent, or straighten them out, pedal the feet. Make this feel good. If you want to come into a puppy pose, bringing the shins down on the floor, that's okay too. But because the hamstrings have such importance with the lower back, we want to make sure we stretch them out here. And then coming down to all fours on an exhale, I'm going to turn yourself around to the other side. We're going to face another direction. So we're doing kind of a semi-moon practice here as well. You know, April has 2 new moons in it, which is a very special thing, new beginnings and all such things. So it's a nice salute if we go in all directions here. So we'll come into all fours here, curl the toes under, and we're going to come up to standing. So take the hands to the feet, walk them back there, keep the knees bent, and hang the head down. And now if you take the hands to the thighs, you can straighten out your legs as you come up to a flat back, or keep them bent if that's better for your low back. Imagine squeezing a block through in between the thighs and come on up to the other side. We're going to step forward with the left foot and feel the energy through that back foot and that angle on the right foot. Bend the left knee. Come into our warrior one. Ease the hips down. Come strongly into your midline. Inhale the arms above the head. Prayer. Oh, we've created so much length. You feel taller already? I hope so. Inhale. Look up at your hands. Exhale, swan dive down around that front foot into our low lunge as you curl the back toes under. And feel the length here in our runner lunge. Next exhale brings that back knee down and the shin, again, our strong foundation through our top of the back foot on the floor and the shins. And then our front knee lined up with the middle two toes, getting long here. Let's rise up into crescent moon, taking the hands to the front thigh, fluidly coming up, bringing that heart with you. So get your connection through the feet. Inhale the arms above the head. Look up, crescent moon pose. Inhale, grow tall through the spine. Exhale, drop into the hips. Press through the back foot on your next breath, feeling that right leg getting warm all the way up through the back. Along the right side, sweep and swan dive around the front foot. Come back to all fours. If you need to take a rest here, no problema. Just come back into child. Or curl the toes under and take a down dog or a puppy. I'll just do a puppy here to show you what I mean. Forehead to the ground. Nice and long. So whatever you choose as our intermediary pose. And feel, if you're in down dog, see if you can lift the heels and descend with your breath. Great. We're going to take that same trip. So if you're coming to all fours, you can turn around. If you want to challenge yourself and walk your dog, you can walk your dog, bend the knees, and just make this fun. Go to the other side of the mat. So we're facing the other way. Either all fours or down dog. Should nice and be warm now. Come back up, hands to feet, and then float up into a flat back, bent knees, hinging up to stand. Here we are looking the other way again. So we're going to walk forward and fly a little bit in our warrior three. And, feel free to just play here. Inhale, and we're in mountain. Exhale, right foot forward. And then simply hinging at that right hip, letting go of the weight on the left foot behind us while keeping it super active and bending forward, using that heart energy to shine the light as you look down at the earth, keeping the hips even as possible. You can check in with your hands and then open up into a full flight. Balance, micro bend that front knee. And then take the hands to the hips, walk that left foot back, bending that front knee. Great. Okay, can you join me in one more trip over to the other side? Bend that front knee, inhale the arms up, sweep yourself down around the front foot. And we'll just, this time, bring the left knee down and into all fours. Just for the fun, we're going to look to the other side. So travel to the other side. And then curl the back toes under. Bring the ribs to the thighs. Feet find the floor. Inhale into a flat back. And take the hands to the hips and float yourself up with an inhale. Feel the back body inflate you up. Exhale. From here, we'll take flight the other way. Step forward with the left foot. And then feeling the strength of that left side, begin to step forward. And we're tiptoeing through the back foot. This is the right foot. And then we're going to lift off. Open up the arms or feel the hands on the hips. Just feel them evenly supporting the leg reach. Shining that heart connecting the third eye, the heart, the base of the pelvis. Oh, beautiful flight. Slightly bend your left knee and reach back with the right. Great. And stepping down, inhale, arms up, exhale, bend the front knee, and we'll come to a low lunge. Find yourself into a low lunge, curling the back toes under. I know this is a lot of shifting feet here. Take the right knee down and draw the left knee back to our all fours. Widen the knees, big toes together. Bring the hips back to the heels. Reach into our child's pose. Take a moment here, 3 long breaths if you're in child's pose or on your back hugging the knees, you can feel the belly hitting the thighs, just breathing deep. Then the ribs all the way to the shoulders. Exhale. Drop the energy. Drop whatever stress is there. We've created a flow of chi through the body. Now you've got that new energy flowing, changing the game. Beautiful. Now we'll roll over, sit on our sits, or sorry, come up to vertical, sit at, find your sits bones, and we'll take our baby boat. If you have some issues, any issues with like a low back, you can take any version of this you'd like. So take the soles of the feet to the floor, spread the toes, take the hands to the back of the thighs, and we're going to take baby boat however you want. So you can lean back here, holding onto the thighs. You can stay a little higher and let go of the hands, right? So you're maintaining that skull sacrum alignment, reaching out. That's simply doing this is getting that core engaged. You're keeping those nice deep core supporting you. You can also take the hands to the back of the thighs and lift a foot off the mat, and then the other, or both. Maybe you want up to parallel with the mat and lean back and see if you can find boat, holding onto the thighs. See things shaking, that's a good sign. But you want to make sure come back to the feet on the mat. And anytime you feel your tailbone pressing into the mat, that means you're caving in too much. And you want to stay that nice natural curve in the low back, leaning back and supporting the torso rather than caving in. That's really not beneficial. Baby boat. Also a good strengthener for the low back, as long as you're careful with it. Take the palms behind you and then just feel that support beneath you down to the elbows, and we're going to come on to the back. I have not forgotten our deep hip flexors and piriformis. So we're going to inhale the left knee to the chest, circle the ankle in one direction and the other, then take the left ankle around the right thigh, over the right thigh, resting there. So right now your hips, again, it's coming back to that even hip situation where you might just go into this pose and maybe there's a slight imbalance in your sacroiliac joint, the base of the pelvis the base of the spine connecting to the pelvis. So to bring that all a little more in sync, let's see if you can find your right foot and just press that foot into the mat, just not really hard, just pressing it, imprinting it. And notice when you press through that foot, maybe the hips even a little bit more. And then the other secret is finding the base of the spine, the sacrum, just seeing in your mind's eye where that is on the mat and finding that base. So just by finding those two bases, the foot, imprinting that, and the sacrum, and then taking your left hand to the left thigh and just pressing into the thigh, just sitting here in figure 4 this way, you're still getting a nice opening in your hip, in the hip flexors on the left. You don't even have to go deep into it with that lift through the thigh, but right here, this is a great alignment and a great stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe the hips release a little more. Maybe you lift the right thigh towards the face and then take the back of the thigh with the hands clasped, fingers clasped. And see what it's like here. Again, let's pretend that the right foot has a wall in front of it, and we're going to press into that wall. So press, press, press. And already, do you notice that wake up call to the pelvis, to the hips? They even out a little more. So let's keep that energy in this pose. Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to take that foot on the right foot up towards the sky, little hamstring action, dropping into the right hip. This is probably the most even figure 4 you've ever taken. And then take that foot down to the floor. Unwind. Inhale the right knee towards the chest. Circle the ankle. And then we'll take that ankle to the thigh and hang out here for a minute, just noticing our landmarks. So we've got the left foot. Press that left foot into the mat. There's a wake up call to the legs there. You could just feel the energy wake up. Now come to the sacrum and just imprint that on the mat. Take the right hand to the right thigh, gently press down. You can even press the thigh into the hand. So right here, beautiful active pose through the breath. And then maybe we can reach for that left thigh, holding the back of the thigh. And now we're bringing that left foot up in the air, but we're going to pretend that there's a wall there and just press into that wall. You feel the warmth go through the leg and the hips even out. Breath. Send it to those hips. Exhale. Sigh it out. And if you want to straighten your left leg, lift up towards the sky. Drop into the left hip. Figure 4. Easily bend that left knee, bring the foot to the floor, and bring our knees together as we began with the feet outside. Feel that ease through the hips and the low back. Let's complete this where we began with our crazy legs. So right knee down to left foot, left knee down to right foot. Thumbs and elbow creases, elbows side to side. Maybe it feels a little different this time. Roll the head side to side with the knees. Close the eyes, or you can keep the eyes closed or open as you move them in the direction with the elbows. But with your witness inside, notice if there's a subtle change or an obvious change in your feeling of your back, your spine from when we began. Just take that noticing energy to the body. In this final twist here. Great. And now bring that to, slow that down. Knees together. Straighten out the right leg. Straighten out the left leg. Take a blanket underneath your knees if you would like to give extra lumbar support, just to take any stress off those low back muscles. Take the palms up towards the sky with the shoulders nice and open, pressing into your arms. You can lift the sternum up towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, and then drop down towards the mat again, noticing that's as if a set of hands have come and pushed your shoulders down towards the earth. Often something that's done in person. You can just feel that energy. Let's visit that third eye again. Observing what happened with your mind through the practice, maybe taking a break from too much thinking. Maybe you're getting an opportunity to just be. And now let's bring our attention to that beautiful, blessed breath. Inhale into the belly. Feel the ribs expand joyously and the shoulders open up. Exhale, release out what you don't need. Five more breaths, 3-part breath on your own pace. Let each breath be dedicated to an intention you have, whether it's for your body, your mind, your spirit, a family member, the world, your community, an outcome. Let each breath be a dedication. Your next exhale, wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bend the knees and the elbows. Roll yourself onto your left side, your right side, away from the heart. Ease yourself up to a seated position using your hands to help you. Take the hands to the heart in prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for joining me in this magnificent practice today. Namaste.